So the whole purpose of you guys being here with me today is to learn a little bit more about social media and how to tell your story, because that's the secret. So I actually have a new t-shirt. I hope you can read it. It says, "Tell Your Story." It's absolutely my favorite new t-shirt, and I thought it was very appropriate to wear it today for you guys. And I see the chat box blurring away, so let me just check. Everybody can hear me okay? Hey, thank you. I love it too. That's great. Thanks, Jimmy. So we all have one of these, and this has become the tool of choice for almost every business. Almost everybody lives in one of these now. It's quite interesting when you see somebody with a flip phone. They just seem so old school these days, but smartphones are where we're at. And what I want to be able to do in the next hour is teach you as much as I can about monetizing your social media without paying for ads. And that's my commitment to do today. And we've got a lot of ways of showing you how to do that. Now, I know a lot of people jump into social media, feel like they're going to have tons of fireworks. In the end, their efforts just turn into crickets. Not even just crickets, but dead crickets. And you just think, seriously, I want fireworks, and all I get is dead crickets. So what do we do about that? Over the last 9 years, I've been teaching social media, and I've got it down to a patented 5-step system. Our first job right in the middle there is to educate people. Our second job is to entertain them and educate. And they're the 3 steps we're going to be looking at specifically today. And then we'll carry on through. And towards the end, because I only have an hour, I want to be able to share with you a way that we could work together even more and really help you sort of elaborate and pad out on these deep steps. So first and foremost, who am I? Who am I to teach you about social media? Well, these are kind of like my home platforms. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Snapchat is where I hang out. And when I add up all the live connections that I have about 30,000 real-time connections through social media, which is more than enough to do what I do for a lifetime. What I would love is to have 30,000 emails to go with those connections, and I don't. And that was a lesson that I learned, which I'll share with you along the way. But certainly I want to teach you how you can rectify that as we go that and do that through social media. So I said to you at the beginning, my name is Jonathan Christian, and everybody has a story. For me, I have it on my t-shirt, but let me tell you my story just to let you know who I am. Something very big happened to me last year. My wife and I bought a new house, and if you know anything about the British Columbia property market, you know it's grown exponentially. And the 2 times that we've moved in British Columbia were just the right time. And so we moved to a city called Abbotsford. This was the day that we took possession of a house, and you can see from my smile, it couldn't get any better. This is very typical. I love to be on the camera. My wife, not so much. But that was our day, and we just moved into this house. We have a great home office that I work out of and deliver all of our webinars through that home office, and it was just like the moment of the year for us. And we've been very blessed to have 3 children. This is our eldest daughter. Her name is Gemma with a G, and Gemma actually lives in the south of France right now. The picture of her there having breakfast in Monaco. And she's a chief stewardess within the private yachting industry and has been for 6 years. Has a great Instagram account called The Yacht Stew and gets most of her business now and connections through Instagram. We have another daughter. Her name is Ellen with an E. Ellen loves to travel too, but a little different to Gemma. For the last almost 4 years, Ellen was a missionary with an organization called YWAM. And I remember the caption of this photograph was, "This is me with Heidi hair, about to watch a storm come across the bay towards the island of Vanuatu." And Ellen has loved being a missionary, and she's about to become an intern at a church this year. And she used social media for a very different purpose. She used it to help raise support. YWAM does not pay a salary. You have to raise all of your own funds. And for 3.5 years, she lived on everything that she raised through her email and through her Facebook and Instagram and her newsletters. And this is our 3rd child. This is Maddie with an M. Maddie's 19. She works for one of our clients running reception at a wellness center. And she's so like me, it's kind of scary. Bless her heart. So that's my children. Jonathan and Debbie is who I am, and then Gemma, Ellen, and Maddie. Why do I tell you this? Because that's my social media name, @JDGem, and it's the initials of our family. Now that you know that, you know a lot about me, you know what's important to me. You probably saw the sparkle in my eyes when I tell my story, because family is very important to me. But what I've also done, and this is so true of social media, is because I've told a story with pictures and with context and with emotion, chances are you'll never forget my social media name. And that is the core of a social media strategy, is to be memorable, to stay top of mind so that people can remember who you are, what you do, and why you do it. Wasn't always that way. This is kind of a picture of the back of my neck. And you probably can't see it so much now, but I have a wonderful sort of like Frankenstein type scar across my front of my neck. I was in a very bad road accident, ended up having to have very aggressive surgery on my neck. So I actually have like a Terminator neck. It's made out of titanium. It's pretty spectacular. And in 2009, when I had my surgery, I thought, that's great. You know, I've had my neck fixed. I can get back to work. But very soon afterwards, I realized that I was in more pain after the surgery than I was before. And I was not in a good frame of mind, especially when my surgeon told me that the only way my surgery was going to take was to spend 6 months doing absolutely nothing. Now, I'd already had a bad year waiting for the surgery to happen. I'd gone through 2008, which was not a fun year to go through, as we all remember. And then to have no income for 6 months because I had to stay at home on bed rest, not the best place to be. So what I did was I started spending a lot of time on my computer and my BlackBerry as I had it. And I realized that technology was advancing at a very, very fast pace. And you look at it, it took 75 years to reach 50 million people from the telephone, but only 4 years, you know, with the internet around, you know, the late 1980s and 90s. But then Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat are reaching people exponentially faster. And back in 2009, I'm like, I wonder if this social media would work for small business. I wonder if there's something I could use with this social media to actually get that message out. So that's what I did. And I started writing a blog called My Social Media Challenge. And I was writing for an e-zine called Marketing Dangerously. And I'm still on that journey. Here I am in 2017, the fall of 2017 almost. You know, we have a company called We Make Stuff Happen. I teach this every day across the country and across the globe to lots of different clients through groups. And I love it, almost so much so that I've made it my personal mission to help entrepreneurs and small businesses overcome their marketing challenges and embrace social media so that they can tell their story with so much enthusiasm and so much effect that people just can't but not want to buy from you. And that's what we do. And we put together this incredible team. We do website design, we do custom video, we do done for you social media, we train people to do social media, we do sales training, we do SEO, we do email lead generation. We do so much. But more than anything else, what I love to do most is exactly this: teach great people how to use social media. So let's just do that. 2017 is, my friends, what I call the year of the finger. And everybody is just doing this on their phones. And what we've got to do is we've got to try and come up with a way of getting their finger to stop on our post and read it. And when that happens, good things happen. This is my friend, Dr. Lung Wang. He's an orthodontist, probably one of the best orthodontists, you know, in the city that he works out of. And he had a technique that he can actually help people with TMJ get over TMJ without surgery. And he had this idea about starting this business, and he and I brainstormed it. We created the name with him, the logo, the website, and we launched all of this through social media. He now has a business within a business with his expertise because of the stories he was able to tell so much. So he's even written a book now about the hidden secrets of migraine headaches, and quite often it's because of clenching in your jaw. So this stuff works. I see it work with clients each and every day. So I have a number of tips that I'm going to give you as we go through. My first tip, hashtag, is be real. Just be who you are in real life on social media, and people will love you for that. You don't want to compare, you know, your beginning to somebody else's middle or towards somebody else's end. You are who you are, and you are on that journey where you might say, I'm a newbie. I've never really used Instagram. I'm not even sure what a hashtag is, but I'm here and I'm going to learn. Because those emotional connections, they really matter. So if you're real and then you're authentic, people will gravitate to you. And so much so, you know, say things that are good enough to put on a t-shirt. An overarching hashtag is make stuff happen. I'm known as the make stuff happen guy, be it through training or, you know, strategy and stuff. And you want to be known for whatever it is that you're really good at. Maybe you'll even put it on a t-shirt too. So going through that, let me think about this. How about Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to become the most engaging teacher in the world in the expertise in which you have. You just imagine that Tom Cruise thing and this message just self-destructing in 5 seconds kind of thing. This is a mission that we're on, to get out onto social media and to show people who it is that we are, what it is that we do, what it is that we love to do, and how that can help somebody else get over the headache that they have. Because there's people out there that need exactly what you do. They just don't know you exist, Jim. So I just don't take my word for it. Mr. Bill Gates, I think America's second or first richest man, depending on the day, said this: if I was down to my last dollar, I would spend it on public relations. I like to transfer public relations into social media. When Steve Jobs wanted to launch Apple, and you remember he did that 1984 campaign and he blew his whole budget on advertising, that's what you used to have to do. But these days with social media, you don't need to spend a ton of money. In fact, sometimes you don't need to spend any money at all, because only 14% of people trust advertisements anyway. And these are facts. But 80% of people are going to go online, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on your website, to look and read about who it is and what you do before they decide to buy your services. And here's the best thing of all: 78% of people will actually trust a recommendation from somebody else about you through social media. So what do you want to do with your time and money? Put it all into ads and bush benches and newspaper ads and flyers and all that kind of stuff and vehicle wraps. They all work, but a very small return. Or go online, get really well found, get people to find you, read the reviews, which hopefully are really positive, put it on social media and say, I'm thinking about hiring someone to teach me about social media. I need someone to put a new concrete driveway in. I have a really sore jaw, I can't sleep at night. All of these questions are being asked on social media, and the ideal scenario is if you've had a good social media strategy and you've told your story, people are going to come along and say, oh, I know who you should, I know who. And before you know it, people are jumping on your Facebook page to tell you who to go buy from or who to hire, because they totally believe in the service that you offer. And that, my friends, is a strategy in 2017 that works again and again and again, and I can prove it. So how's 2017 been for you? I don't know what your mornings look like, whether you get up in the morning, you get an Americano, you sit on your motorbike, and you just think, what am I going to do today? Or maybe you have to have that thing called a job, and you have to get up and you have to work. And life isn't quite what it should be or could be. Somewhere in between, I'm probably finding you today. Somewhere along the way, something's not quite right. Maybe everything's perfect. Maybe it isn't. I'm not sure. But I know it could be better for a lot of people. And we help a lot of people come to where they're at, realize where they want to be, and write a strategy that takes them there. So that's what we're doing today. We're taking you on that strategy. So could you imagine going on vacation, being able to have a strategy that you're either writing while you're away or you've already written, and all of these social media platforms are going to work for you? While you're sitting on a beach, drinking a margarita, going for a swim, stuff is happening. That's the kind of thing that we're seeing for our clients. That's what happens for me in my life. I'm on what I call a workation right now. I haven't been in Canada for over 3 weeks, and I'm doing more business here in Palm Desert than I was doing when I was in Vancouver, because my strategy is working for me. You're on this webinar. My strategy is working, and I help people help that strategy work for them too. The first thing that we need to do is we need to fall in love with Google. And we also need Google to fall in love with us, because that's where people go. And if you're found on the first page of Google, it's a really good thing. We have a joke in our industry. It says, where is the best place to bury a dead body? And it's page 3 of Google, because no one ever goes there. So if you can get your Google strategy right, you'll find that this is what people use for their search. They'll use it for maps if you have a bricks and mortar location. That SEO, that search engine optimization for the super skills that you have come up to the top. People write reviews about your business. And then that whole right-hand side of Google, it's called the knowledge graph, you can own. You can't buy it. You can't give Google any money for it, but you can own it by giving Google the information that it needs about you through this program called Google My Business. And we teach you all of that in our boot camps. It's the most incredible thing. It's like a half a day's worth of work, and it will serve you for years. So once we've got Google understanding who you are, we need to get people to understand. So we're dealing with robots and we're dealing with people. And one of my friends, Ted Rubin, just gets this right. He said, you have to look at people in the eye digitally. And he has a thing called return on relationship. He's famous for this, ROR. And as Ted says, being social drives engagement, which is what we talked about. That engagement drives loyalty, where people are telling other people about you. And along with that loyalty comes this thing called advocacy, where other people are telling other people about your services and you're not even having to sell anything. Because there's this phrase, if I call you, I'm a salesman. But if you call me, I'm an expert. What do you want to be? You want to be an expert by having people call you, having them reach out. And when you get that right, it totally corresponds into sales. So our ROR turns into an ROI when we get the strategy right of building up that engagement. It comes down to one simple thing, becoming, as the t-shirt says, a storyteller, but not just a storyteller, the best storyteller. We all have great stories. So let me tell you about this one. I love every summer to go out and work at summer camps. I always donate a week of my time, and I pick a summer camp, normally in British Columbia. I've done them in the States. And I go speak for a week, and there's nothing gives me more joy than to motivate 130 kids aged 9 to 11 for a whole week about the possibilities of what they could do in their life. That mentoring scenario is just fantastic. So this is me in a city called Grand Forks in the BC interior. Right on the top of a mountain, they have the most incredible amphitheater to teach. Now, I used to go into town every day to get some work done on my workations because there was no Wi-Fi on the camp at that time. And I remember driving back and pulling over because pretty much I knew exactly where cell signals stopped. So I checked my last text, sent my last voice messages, and I'm looking up at the sky. And I'm looking at these clouds, and you can see on my Instagram there, this is 2012, I just went, uh-oh. Within 10 minutes, a storm blew through the valley, and this is the camp, that hadn't been seen in 100 years. And this camp was called the Pines Bible Camp. And in the space of 10 minutes, over 330 trees were either snapped or uprooted, and it totally decimated the camp. This was my cabin. And you can see right across my front door is this huge Douglas fir. Right across my roof is another huge Douglas fir. And any other night apart from this night, I would have been in it. I was just late coming back because I'd been Skype coaching. And I don't honestly know what I would have done in the middle of the storm had I been sitting in my cabin at 5:10 in the afternoon, which is what I always was doing right in my evening talk. But I honestly think I dodged a bullet. And I went back a few months later, and my cabin wasn't rebuilt yet. They topped it over because they didn't want me to see it. But I stood on the tree trunk and kind of met my nemesis. But what's so interesting about this story was one of the reasons I picked this camp was they had no social media strategy. And on the Wednesday of that week, we had 2 likes, me and the program director. That's all we had on Facebook. But by the end of that weekend, we had over 865 people engaging on that page because it became the #1 source of information. The power was out, so nobody could use their computers. The phone lines were down, so nobody could actually make a telephone call to see what was going on at camp. But the Facebook page became the lifeblood of that camp for national media, the RCMP police, parents, 130 sets of parents wanting to get in touch with the kids, making sure everybody was okay. And I realized in 2012 that social media isn't just for business. Social media is for life. And this almost became part of my mission, even more so, was to show people just how important it is and in the right hands, how well it can be used. So I now encourage everybody to become the leading authority within their own industry, whether it's naturopathic medicine or pain relief or landscape gardening, or I can't say everybody who's on this call right now, otherwise I'd be naming your industries, but you know what you do. You know how you do it. You need to become the leading authority in that modality. And your social media is the best place to flex your muscles. So I'm an entrepreneur. I try and relate to entrepreneurs as best as I can. And this is a post that I did when I said, can anybody else relate? And I talked about the psychological price of entrepreneurship. That cold sweat in the middle of the night when you think, oh my goodness, what have I done? And so many people can relate to how you feel when you're authentic, that it builds rapport and it builds affinity. This was not even an article that I wrote. This is from Inc. magazine. But people identified, almost 4,800 people identified, with this message, and over 93 people had something to say. That's what social media does. One of our clients, his name is Kevin Weeb. He's never been on Facebook. I don't know if he ever will. He approached us because his business is rental properties, and they were running at a 12% vacancy rate. The website was terrible. This was 5 years ago, and he's, Jonathan, I've heard a lot about you. I don't know if you could help me, but this is where we're at. They had a newspaper ad every week. They're spending a lot of money, and nothing was changing. We built a community. We built nearly 7,000 people through Facebook. We created a brand around Abbotsford Apartments, so much so that that 12% vacancy rate went to a zero vacancy. And in fact, it went to a wait list, and that is still the case today. So much so they felt so enthused about the new marketplace that they invested in this incredible opportunity to rebuild this place of Abbotsford. Hudson's Loft 1, 2 are already built. That section in the middle, section 3 is being built. We're doing a website for that now. And all of this happened because we helped this family tell their story. And it started with Kevin and his dad right there, with his dad's two belt on, 2 years old, right through to, this is Kevin and his dad again. This is just before Dave passed away. He had pancreatic cancer. But people sort of knew the family. They respected the family, and they bought because they knew who they were. And those that didn't know who they were knew who they were online, and the synergy of respect and reputation came together, and it became a wonderful, true story. So my friend Scott, he's an audiologist. He sells hearing aids. Not the sexiest thing in the world to be sharing on Facebook. So when we worked with Scott, and this is his dad, Doug, who's now one of the other audiologists because their business has grown, we started doing things like we had a Facebook contest. He wanted to bless a family with a Christmas, hamper. So we did that, and we got tons of visibility through giving away this great hamper. And this was Kevin who won it, and this is us on December 23rd at the turkey farm, getting Kevin this incredible basket of stuff. So much so that their reputation for the community has been recognized by the newspaper. And now 2 years in a row, they are now #1 referred to hearing aid clinics in the city of Langley, mainly because of what he does within the community. And that's what you want. You want that reputation within the community. What I also do is I get in touch with all the great people around the world. And this is my friend Jen Herman. She's one of the foremost bloggers on Instagram, shall we say. And I get to have one-on-one conversations with these people, and I get to invite you in with me too. So each month I bring in a guest speaker, and we can learn what the very cutting edge of what's going on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat, blogging, SEO, whatever that is. I become the one-stop shop, so you don't have to go learn. And that's what I do, and that's what you need to do with your social. You need to be the place that people go to so that they don't have to go anywhere else. So you're empowering your readers. And at this point, have I said anything about selling? I don't think so. Have people made a lot of money at this point? Oh, yeah. But I'm not selling anything. I'm helping. I'm empowering our readership with the knowledge that we have, that we are the good guys to go to. And that is the strategy that we've been teaching for years, specifically in 2017, because this, my friends, is your window to the world. So people experience that message in between other stuff. We know what social media is like. We know that people have games. We know, I wish our children were in the social generation now when we were having it, because we'd have so much fun sharing pictures of 26, 36, 38, the baby's born. You see so much of that. But if you can just find the right time for your post to go in between other people's posts, then you're getting a home run on Facebook. And I say, this is where the magic happens. There's a couple of things that you need to know. You have a personal profile and you have a business profile. And it's a balance as to which you write on what. You have to have a business profile without doubt, because otherwise, if you're starting to do business on your personal profile and someone reports you on Facebook, take it down, you're hooped. You cannot get it back sometimes, and I've seen it happen. But if you have a business page and you start to talk about your stuff over here, and then you share it to your personal page, then that's a great thing. And a lot of people sort of using this strategy takes time, because we have to find who our audience is, what age they are, what platform they're on. It may not even be Facebook. It may be LinkedIn, maybe Snapchat, depending on your audience. But we try and do that. What we also do is we want to let people know where it is that you work. So I always encourage every member of our team and all of our clients that when you go to the Facebook About button on Facebook Personal, that the owner or the employment, if you like, is your business page. So literally you just hover over this Madeline McRae, so you hover over MM McRae, suddenly her business page is popping up, and we haven't got there yet, but it's right there. And that's what you need to do. Now, I talked about in the landing page about, how to go viral. Now, I don't know if you remember this lady. Her name is Candace Payne, I should say. And if you look, she has 828,000 followers. She's a simple mom with a husband and 2 kids. What did she do to get that kind of following?
I got to take off my glasses for it.
She has a great laugh.
Naturally. Okay, here we go. So, yes! Now watch when my mouth actually moves. That's not me making that noise, it's the mask! Here, listen.
So Candace got this mask from Kohl's, and it sold out almost straight away. And she just did this Facebook Live in her car. And the crazy thing about it was, it really, really picked up for her. And what it did was it created a ton of engagement. And that's what you want. You want to have that funny story, that mask, that whatever it might be, the cat falling off the back of the sofa, all these videos that you've seen that people love to share, creates engagement. It creates a community. And once you've created that community, then we're off to a winning start. And that community then needs entertaining. And that's our second E, is how do we entertain people enough so that they really enjoy our social? And we had to find posts. This is a post that I shared at the beginning of June. And it was potentially a new trend for the summer. Thank goodness it didn't trend. Lace shorts for men. It's kind of like, it was like a romper for men. It's like an all-in-one. Yeah, no, I didn't buy one. But I put it out there, and I tagged a style designer friend of mine, Liana, and I said, what do you think, you guys? I'm not sure they're my color. Over 215 people reacted to it. And this is on my business page. This was a home run, entertaining post that totally got me in front of the right kind of people just because of something that I shared. Celebrity chefs like Gordon Ramsay. This is a video I found on how to make the most perfect scrambled eggs. And I shared it again on my business page. Not so many as a lacy short romper, but you can see how many people watched this video, how many people started talking about it, because I'm entertaining, both funny and educationally wise, giving my audience what it is they need. So once you've engaged with them and you've started to entertain them, now we can start the dating game. When you date with people, you never go straight to second base. You will take them for coffee, you'll call them up, you might send them a text, you might send them flowers. That's a dating game that we're on social media. Now, we've educated them, we've engaged with them, we've entertained them, now we're educating them. And this is where the magic starts to happen. And it starts to happen through writing down our story. And we call this business blogging. And we have a course that we teach, actually, it's called Core Content. And we literally roll up our sleeves and we help our clients write blogs. We often use WordPress as a platform for our clients, but this is what we do. We help them write the story, and then that blog becomes the center of your strategy. This is the course. It's called Power Content. Right now, it happens October 18th, later on this year. We call it content marketing. And then that story becomes the very passion of what it is that you do in business. So much so that, as you can hear that heartbeat, that pulsing of the blood in your veins, is the same pulse that you want to run through your business. And when you tell your story across social media, whether it's through Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, whatever that might look like, suddenly we have a strategy that can go out there. And I even have a strategy, and you'll see one of those arrows go back the other way, of how to write a blog without even typing. And that's where I make a video first, and I have it transcribed, and I have someone put it into my website. I can do a blog in 15 minutes, and I've hardly typed a word. There's so much you can do through blogging that we could teach you that becomes the core of your content. The other core of your content is video. And if you're not making video yet, you need to be. They're predicting that something like 80% of people in social media by 2020 will be corresponding through video, just like we are now. So having a simple monopod or tripod or something like that you can talk from, that you carry around, a little clicker to make it a bit more professional, drop your iPhone in, that's all you need. you don't need a lot of tech anymore. And when you do that, it can make a huge difference. This is my client, Joanna Shakti. She's a wonderful lady. She's a relationship coach. And she's in the middle of what she calls a Soul Love Mentor series, and it's all video driven. So each week, she releases a video on a Thursday. This was a classic one, 6 mistakes men make that turn women off. We put a little bit of money into these sometimes to make sure it reaches out there. Not a lot, but you can see that these really start to get the reactions that they want. Initially, we spent $70 on the first few weeks because we were trying to get them off, but that's depending on your audience, how engaging it is. But you can see the reach and the level of engagements and everything that we're getting just through getting videos out there. I did a campaign where I created a Facebook video every single business day for a whole year back in 2015, before other people were doing video, just to get it out there about what social media looks like. And I never did a video in the same place twice. Whether it was 5:30 in the morning on a video shoot, or sitting in my backyard, or in somebody else's office, or my car, not while I was driving, or a ball game, wherever it was, I made a video every single day. I tried to keep them around 2 minutes, and I created a huge following. I went from like 1,800 likes to almost 20,000 likes in that year, predominantly through making video and people getting to know who I was and what I do. And we now do that with our clients. We make sure that every client that we have has a custom video now built into their website. Just give you a quick
Imagine
example.
a place where you can be part of a team where each person you serve can live a meaningful life and reach their own personal potential through services individualized to their own experience and needs. That place is the Hamlets, where communities operated and managed by H&H Total Care Services.
Can you see? Already you could see what life was like in that nursing home. You could see, it was actually, that video was a recruitment video. But what we did was we just created a video that showed what life was like inside a nursing home. We don't call it a retirement center. It was very much an assisted living, and then also 24-hour critical care as people needed it. They had brain injury people in there as well. And that video alone has told the story way more than anything else that I could have said or written. And that's what you want. We want people to feel empowered so that when they find you, when they read your stuff, and you say, come with me, let's go on a journey together, they just say, okay, when do we start? They don't say, how much is it going to cost? Quite often they just say, when can I start? What would it look like for me to hire you? And that's when we feel empowered, and that's where we empower our audience to go forward with us. So here's another one. I'm empowering my audience here. This was an interesting article. I got 8 brutally honest truths that you need to hear if you really want to get your SH1T together. You can see 276 reactions. Again, nothing that I wrote, but I curated a great article. It's much better if you do write, don't get me wrong. That really builds affinity, that empowers my audience. We get on the same page. I know exactly who my audience is. And these kind of posts create that engagement, that entertainment, that level of education, that level of empowerment that people are ready to make that phone call and start to do business with you. So I always use quotes. Social media, don't use it to impress people, please. Use it to impact people. I've already told you about my family. In my heart and in my mind, my family is first. My clients come a very close second. But people can get a lot of what you say through quotes, and we know how much and how powerful quotes are if you do them right. You can also use those quotes to really find out who your audience is. So, here you go. There's 2 kinds of people. And you look at the gas tank. Oh, I need to fill up, but it's only 2/3 empty, 2/3 full. Or other people say, oh, I know my car. I can do another 100 miles before I need to put in gas. What this does, because I got all those comments, I could see which kind of people, build up pretty quick and which kind of people lived on the edge. Then I can find out, are they my ideal client? And I might send them a survey or a questionnaire. And then I start to find out, because what I want to do, I want to bridge that connection between my social media and my email. And we teach our clients how to do this through questionnaires, through assessments, through surveys. And it gives us incredible data that tells about whether these people are ideal clients or not, and whether we should be spending time with them. This is a questionnaire that I have on my site where I ask people where they're at with their blogging, with their social media. This was an ideal client of mine. He lives in Germany. He was a doctor. I read all this through and went, oh my goodness, I know I can help him. So by the time we came to do a strategy call, I already knew what he needed. All I had to do was listen to his point of pain, come up with a solution, and the deal was done. And this was done through him finding me through a Facebook group on social media. So then, if we can get that Facebook group, that individual into our email box, then we can start to send out emails that really start to engage them, because email is still where business gets done. So we've got to capture that email. We've got to have a way on our website of offering them something for free that has value, that they're willing to give you that email. I remember back in the 80s, I used to get so excited when I got an email. Now, not so much. I don't want to tell you how many unread emails I have on my Gmail. It's quite a lot. It's not that I'm inefficient. I read them on my phone. I just don't do as much with them as I used to. But you send me a Facebook message or you send me a video on Instagram, I watch it immediately. But either which way, we need to get people's email, and sending them something that has that value. Like Madeline's was a 5-day challenge to sales mastery. It was 5 quick videos over a week. If people have watched all 5 videos and they like you, they're very likely to want to do business with you. I love to get people to put email video together so that you don't put, the video isn't an attachment, it's embedded into YouTube. But I'd far rather read an email which has video that I can watch than read this long form text, because it's so interesting. And we teach all of our clients how to do this through our strategy sessions and our programs, just exactly what works. So when you know what works, then you get them to your website and then you offer them what they call a strategy session, or maybe it's just a 30-minute mastermind call, depending on what you call your services. And when people fill in these forms, I get to get that form back. I get to know who they are. I get to know where their point of pain is. At that point, I already know if I can help them. So when I finally get on the phone with them and we do a Zoom call or something like that, it's very simple to know if the only question is, are we a fit? Do you like me? Do I like you? Could we do business together? If there's a fit and I think I can help them, I pretty much get close to them every single time, because somewhere in our company, we have a program that works for them from Inner Circle at $47 through to VIP at $25,000 one-on-one. We have something that I know we can help them with, and that's a beautiful thing. I love for my clients to run contests on Facebook, because that's the best way of building up an email list through Facebook. So my clients, Elite Kitchens, right now, we have a back-to-school relaxation package for mom or dad. And it's a chance to go to a wellness center where they can have one of these flotation tank experiences. They get this gift basket of all Epsom salts and bath bombs to bring back. They also go to get a mani-pedi or an eyelash extension, and they get a great Starbucks card, just so that when the kids are going back to school, mom or dad can go and have their time and relax. And this is working so well. We've built a massive email list, for this client and many others through running Facebook contests, specifically knowing their client's point of pain and how it is that we can fix it. This is my client, Ashley. She's a personal fitness trainer. Through her social media and being able to flex her expertise, she was able to actually double her rates. And because she was able to double her rates, she was able to go on this incredible vacation 2 years ago to Thailand on a yoga retreat. On that yoga retreat, she met this badass chef from New York. His name was Chris, and that's Ashley and Chris. They met in Thailand. He dated her. They got engaged. They got married this summer. I was at their wedding. It was fantastic. This came genuinely, and she'll tell you, she had my picture up at her wedding, and she was telling people, I met Chris because I went to Thailand. I went to Thailand because my business is doing so well because of the social media strategy through video that guy over there taught me. Love it. Don't you just love it? You can see Ashley's pictures like, yes! I love what I do. The float tank that we're doing the contest with Elite, I helped them sort of start it. We did it through video. We had some CFL players come and relax themselves through, after a game, and managed to get a very famous Shark Tank or Dragon's Den celebrity to come out. He has an Indian restaurant here in Vancouver, Vijay Vij. He came and took a shake. We have a float with a pregnant lady. We had a float with a guy who was a triathlete. All of these stories help position them as the go place to go to if you need to relax or you have an injury. So let me just take a drink because I'm zooming here. What is the secret to doing what we do? What is the secret to a great social media strategy that makes stuff happen? It's really simple. It's all about context. It's about telling a story that people understand. So we had a client who went to the Oscars. Her name is Liana. I had her doing Facebook Live from the red carpet. People were all over her social media because of the behind the scenes stuff that she was sharing. And it cost us nothing at all. She had an Oscar ticket. It was amazing. So what I say to people is, tell your story and have fun. Just really enjoy it. And, play with a bit of Photoshop. Yeah, 1975, Jaws. I remember that movie so well. I know that Rod Schneider did not take a selfie. But that's what you can do with social media. You can have some fun, tell your story, and people will make it memorable. Is it easy? Not really. Is it doable? Absolutely. But what do? How do you juggle all these balls? Well, we brainstorm with you. We decide which platform is the right platform for you. We decide who your ideal audience is. And then we start to go to work creating stories and posts that totally work for you. I do this for 4 months with some clients through our VIP program. We even have a higher level on this called VIP Platinum, where I just one-on-one with a company. I've been doing this since 2008. I know exactly how this works and how to do it. And it works again and again. And it comes down to this: creating community. This is a Mission Chamber of Commerce. This is an old town in logging town in British Columbia that's a little remote apart from a bridge. But they've created an app now for the community. They have a mascot called Stan the Sturgeon. And a lot of fun is now just helping them create community. And that's what comes out of social media. People befriend you. They like you. You share stuff. They read your blog. They might retweet you. They like your stuff. Things are starting to work. Now, let me tell you how we do this, if I may. I run a number of courses, as I've said to you. And one of my favorite courses is the Social Media Bootcamp, where I work for 5 weeks with people and help them go through these 5 E's, one a week. And through that, by the end of that bootcamp, these people are an intermediate level of social media, and it can really start to make a difference. And funny enough, we have a class coming up in September 19th. And I teach you the 5 E's of social success within that bootcamp. So number 1 we talked about was engagement. It's so important that we engage with people. Number 2 is that we entertain people. People have to like our stuff. They want to be able to enjoy what it is that we write. Number 3 is that we educate people, that they understand who it is that we are, what it is that we do for a living, and why they should buy from us. When we get these 3 pieces right, people feel empowered to want to do business with us. And when they want to do business with us, it gets very exciting. Fireworks happen as I said, the fireworks really do happen at the beginning because the strategy works. And we do this through Zoom. And you can see this is one of our very first classes. Bunch of people from all demographics, meet with me for 10 sessions, 5 work sessions, 5 question and answer sessions. And I'd love for you to join me. I have it coming up on September 19th. It's not my first rodeo. I've been doing these boot camps now for over a year. This will be number 5. I was going to do a video. I was going to do a boot camp this summer, and I actually got bought out by a private company. I did a talk in Orlando, Florida for a real estate investment company. So many people wanted to learn more that they actually bought out all my time for the summer. So my summer social media boot camp became a private boot camp. But I guarantee you that number 5, which is coming up, has availability because this is definitely the one I'm doing. Whether I'll do another one, I don't know. They keep getting bought out by companies and organizations, so we'll see. So fall 2017, September 19th, I'm running a social media bootcamp, and I'm calling it Back to School for Business. You know what? Back to School Business? And it's $1,497. Let me tell you what you get for that bootcamp. My friend Cheryl could probably tell you better than I did. She did the very first bootcamp that we did this time last year. She has a business called Get Nailed at Home. She teaches people how to be estheticians. She had a complete fear of social media. Now, most of her new client business that was coming through Craigslist and Kijiji is coming through social media. And you can see she's a pretty happy lady. So we teach people how to engage. These are our clients, JD Farms. This is something that they did for back to school last year. 112,000 people engaged on this back to school value pack contest that we did. We spent $20 at the very end just to finish off the equation. But this was the most incredible strategy. And these are all results of people who have been through my bootcamp. So what does the bootcamp look like? 5 weeks, 1 E per week. And I absolutely guarantee you my stuff works. So much so that by the end of the first session, the next week around, if you haven't been able to put something into place that's made a dramatic difference to your social media, I'll give you 100% of your money back. $1,497 is what it's listed for on my website. You can go to it right now. It's there. People have bought it at that price. But because you spent time with me today and you signed up for this webinar, I appreciate it. I appreciate it very, very much. So my price to you, my friends, is $997. I want you to be able to save $500 and just get this for $997. Let me tell you a bit more. The 5 weeks covers the educate, the entertain, the engage, the empower, and the excite. The email marketing, all the different strategies that we teach our clients to create that engagement, find fun stuff that creates entertainment, positions you as the expert by using that blog, helping people get into your email stream and coming up with different ideas, and then closing that deal through a strategy session. We teach all of that over 5 weeks. Start September 19th. And I have a bunch of bonuses that I haven't told you about yet that I want to give you too. It's so exciting. It's almost like my fireworks are going off as we speak. So I see some chats. I will get back to them in a minute. The first thing I want to bonus you with is our social media quick start guide. And we've just produced this, which is what to post on social media through all of these different platforms. It's a 12-page document. As soon as you buy the class, I will give you this to give you a head start. I also teach you how to use Instagram and a video that I shot with Jen Herman and how to use hashtags, and you get that as a bonus. I want to teach you about LinkedIn. And one of my best friends, Kevin Knebel, is one of the world's leading LinkedIn speakers. I have a webinar I want to send you, that this conversation that Kevin and I had, which will just blow you away with possibility. And Twitter. It is still an amazing platform. And one of our trainers, Kat, did this incredible talk at one of our boot camps on Twitter. I have that video as well. So I'm going to teach you Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, not in the boot camp, we don't have time. But I'm also going to give you a guide on how to use that. And this is how we do it. So 5 weeks boot camp. It's not $1,497. It's $997 just for you guys. And to be able to buy it on our website right now, you just need to put in the hashtag #PickMe. I don't know if you can remember which movie that was, but I remember Donkey and Shrek going, "Oh, pick me, pick me." And I thought, that is a great hashtag for this webinar. So that is a coupon code, #PickMe. My friends, social media is about marketing in the year in which you live. This is 2017, not 2008. We have to stop marketing like it is 2008 and realize the year in which we live. And my friend Gary Vaynerchuk does such a great job at doing this. So I want to excite you. I want to empower you. I want to entertain you. I want to engage with you to be able to do all of this. And I always conclude my talks with this one little piece of wisdom. So bear with me. I need you to remember this one thing. Do not say or post anything that your mom wouldn't like. And that, my friends, is kind of like my drop the mic moment. So this is how you do it. You get to work with Debbie and I, we stay social, we teach you, we get to know you, and we hope we're going to see you at the bootcamp.